What is the legacy of the Monmouth women's soccer team?
Winning.
You gotta want it. Like, you gotta be okay with the 6 a.m.s and going all day, not going back to your dorm, being tired, being sore, not going to parties because you have soccer stuff. Like, you just have to really want to be here and want to be a soccer player. We don't want to just dominate the map. We want to be dominant in our out-of-conference games and win.
We're a mid-major team, but we have competed with the best, and I think that is such it's a great life lesson, but also a just internal and external as far as like the heart and the want and just competing for that next to get better and better every single day, not just in practice, but we went on the road to Texas and beat them 4-0. Like that was a big. That will go down in history for Monmouth women's soccer. So just competing with ourselves every day.
You can see what it takes based on knowing the players in our program, but I think it takes a lot of sacrifice and commitment, not only as an individual, but as a team. I think we have very high standards, which require our players to work extremely hard and to be disciplined. We also have very high standards off the field. We carry one of the highest grade point averages on campus as a program, and we have for many years. So I think we ask a lot, it demands a lot, but I think the rewards are well worth it.
Monmouth University women's soccer breeds excellence, right? In the classroom, on the field, in the community. It's something that Coach Turner has instilled from years ago. I've been fortunate to work with them for 7 years, and it's something that's still continuing to develop and to grow as we bring in new, young, fresh players. So I'm the Associate Director of Strength and Conditioning here at Monmouth University. My job is to make sure that the women's soccer team, among others, are as strong, as healthy, as injury resistant as they possibly can be, so that they can be successful on the field.
So this past season, we obviously during the COVID pandemic, that was a challenge in and amongst itself. Then I think after the second game of the season, we had suffered 5 injuries, 4 to starting players and then 1 to a key reserve that were season-ending injuries. So it forced us to have to make adjustments, not only in personnel, but in where players played on the field, and changing players' positions, even mid-game, in-game moments. It forced us as coaches to really think outside the box on how to solve the problem.
It's definitely really hard to kind of keep a team together and motivated after seeing a lot of their teammates go down with serious injuries. On top of the serious injuries, we also had some minor injuries, ankle sprains, strains, different things that students need to go see the doctors about. So trying to keep the kids that were able to play healthy on the field is typically my biggest challenge every season, is keeping everyone on the field.
Because at the end of the day, we're still have high expectations of winning championships, regardless of the injuries. We're on the road, playing in a relatively hostile environment against an extremely physical team, and we came out with a 2-0 victory. The reserve group on the bench was super enthusiastic and really excited, and it just made it for a great game day environment, and our players on the field executed the game plan and played an awesome game. The hardest game to coach, I would say, would be 2 games. Both of the matches against Siena, because Siena was playing a very defensive-minded game, and it was challenging to try to solve that, and frustrating that the other team was just sitting back so deep and making it hard for us to score.
When we lose, we hate it. We take losses like so much harder than a lot of teams, I feel like.
we don't, some teams just focus on like that first game, which we focus on the first game, but they're like, oh, if we could tie this team, we're good. Like that's a win in our book. For us, I feel like a tie or a loss, they're both losses, and there's no other choice except to win.
Because we're not used to it. Because we've earned our legacy of winning. Next season, this isn't gonna happen. We're taking it all. Because that's what we're about. We're about winning and we're about having fun. We have such a fun team. We have so many great personalities. But when it's time to win, like, we get it done. And I think that's awesome.
I'm so excited for the fall. I feel like this season, just from the very first second we stepped in, there was so much uncertainty of what was going to happen, what our culture was, what the rules were, like things like that. And I feel like if we come back in August, like normal preseason, things are going to be back set in stone. The newcomers can learn exactly how we do it. We're going to have to pass fitness tests. It's going to be challenging, and I'm excited for the challenging, because this season with the injuries, I feel like it wasn't as challenging just because like we had to be careful. Like we needed 11 people on the field, so like we needed to be careful. Like coach couldn't necessarily do all the things I feel like we would normally do if we had a full healthy roster. So I'm just excited for normalcy and to be back to like our challenging and competitive culture.
I can't wait to shock everybody, even people on our team. Like, I can't wait for them to understand what this program is actually all about, and just to go out there and put every team on their butts, because they're not going to be ready for us. Like, we're going to come out stronger than ever because we're going to have the time to mesh and learn to be the program that we used to be.